So if you're an English learner, you know this feeling. It's a
Mm.
specific frustration.
Mm.
You've spent years, you've mastered the grammar rules, your vocabulary is solid, you can read, a complex news article no problem. But
But
then,
then the moment you have to actually speak.
exactly, the moment you open your mouth to speak quickly and clearly in a real conversation, it's like everything just hits a wall.
It's a classic phenomenon, and the learner, they feel this disconnect so deeply. And they often blame their brain, right? They think, oh, I forgot the past perfect tense, or, I don't know the right idiom.
Right. It feels like a memory problem.
It does. But the sources we analyzed for today, they offer this really counterintuitive idea that the main block to fluency isn't entirely mental.
It's physical.
It's physical.
We're talking about training your mouth to talk. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it completely reframes how you think about fluency. It goes from being this intellectual puzzle to, well, a physical performance.
That's the perfect way to put it.
It means practice isn't just about flashcards anymore. Practice means literally moving your tongue.
That's it exactly. So our mission today is to do a deep dive into the practical, step-by-step methods from these materials. We're going to unpack how you can physically command your lips, your tongue, your jaw, all the muscles of speech.
So you can produce those English sounds with speed, clarity, and that natural rhythm that makes you sound confident.
That's the goal, real confidence.
Okay, let's unpack that. Why do we need to treat speaking like physical exercise? I mean, isn't just knowing the words enough to get them out clearly?
You'd think so, but the sources really emphasize the mechanical challenge. Think about the specific muscle movements you need for certain English sounds.
Sounds that might not even exist in your native language.
Right. If you grew up speaking a language where, say, your mouth movements are very small, your tongue stays low, your lips don't really round much, then trying to make the wider range of English sounds, well, your muscles just aren't prepared for that kind of speed and agility.
So the knowledge is all there in your brain, but the delivery system is just, it's stiff.
It's stiff. The sources use this great analogy comparing speaking to a sport.
I love this one.
It's the perfect parallel. It's like trying to play football or basketball after you've read all the rule books, but you've never actually stepped on the court.
You know the theory, but your body just can't do it under pressure.
Exactly. Your lips, your tongue, your jaw, they're all small muscle groups, and they need conditioning to perform these really high-speed movements.
And this isn't a one-size-fits-all problem, is it?
Yeah.
The sources mention that different languages create different physical hurdles.
Oh, absolutely. If your language is syllable-timed like Spanish or French, you might really struggle with English's stress-timed rhythm.
Where some words are emphasized and others are sort of swallowed.
Yes. Your mouth is physically used to giving every single syllable the same weight. Or if you're a Japanese speaker, you might have a really tough time with the L and R sounds. Your tongue needs intense training to learn those two very distinct positions for light versus right.
And this rhythm piece feels so important. Without that physical training, your speech can sound, well, a bit robotic.
Precisely. Because you're stressing every word equally. Training helps your mouth learn to naturally just slide between words. It helps you adopt the correct stress patterns.
Let's do that test you mentioned. I think it's a brilliant way to demonstrate this. If you're listening right now, just try to say this tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Mm-hmm.
Just try it. Now try to say it 3 times, getting a little faster each time.
And what's really fascinating is the physical sensation. If your tongue felt kind of confused or bunched up, or it just couldn't keep up with your brain.
Which it probably did.
It probably did. That feeling right there proves the point. It's a physical problem. That tongue twister forces your mouth into these unnatural, rapid movements, and the difficulty just shows you need that physical conditioning.
That sets the stage perfectly. So now that we get why this is so important, let's look at the common roadblocks this training is designed to dismantle.
Yeah, the sources lay out 5 really common ones. The first is speaking too slowly. You hear these long, unnatural pauses.
Which is often because the mouth is stalling while the brain is busy with roadblock number 2.
Which is translating. That act of mentally translating a sentence from your first language to English, it just stops your mouth from finding any kind of natural quick flow.
And that delay, that translation gap, it creates roadblock number 3, fear of mistakes.
It does, because it takes time, the speaker gets worried, they stumble, and they end up under-projecting their voice. The mouth literally closes up, hesitating.
Which leads right into number 4, mumbling or unclear sounds.
Exactly. If you're afraid to commit, you just don't move your lips or tongue enough. It's called under-articulating. The words sound flat or muddy, and they're just really hard for a native speaker to understand.
And the last one, number 5, is that robotic rhythm we talked about.
If you haven't practiced the rhythm, every word becomes its own little island instead of being smoothly linked into the sentence's sort of musical pattern.
So this whole training plan we're about to outline, it's designed to attack the physical side of all 5 of these problems.
That's the plan.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Let's dive into the solution, the 6-step plan. And we have to start with the foundation. Step 1, warming up your mouth.
Yes. We really can't stress this enough. Just like a runner stretches before a race, your speech muscles, they need a little bit of preparation.
It's just 2-3 minutes, right?
That's all. It increases blood flow, relaxes the muscles, and just gets your tongue and jaw ready for clearer, faster speech.
So what are the actual exercises? They're super simple. First, for the lips. You say the main vowel sounds A, E, E, O, O, but you really exaggerate them. So open your mouth wide for A, pull back into a big smile for E, and really round your lips for the O. You're giving them a little workout.
Then you move to the tongue. Just stick it out, move it left, right, up and down. This one is all about flexibility, which you absolutely need to shift quickly between different sounds.
A stiff tongue means slow speech.
Always. And finally, the jaw. Open your mouth wide and then slowly close it a few times. We hold so much tension in our jaw when we're nervous about speaking, and releasing that is key.
Okay, that's the warm-up. That brings us to step 2, practicing sounds and pronunciation.
Right, and this step needs to be targeted. You have to focus on the sounds that are different, the ones that don't exist in your native language.
Let's get really specific here.
Yeah.
We mentioned the sound. It's the classic example of a physical hurdle.
It really is. For that, the sound, your tongue has to be placed just lightly between your teeth. Think, or this. The key, according to the sources, is to start slowly.
Because if you rush, your tongue just won't get there in time.
And you'll default back to a T or a D sound, so you have to practice that specific kind of awkward tongue placement over and over until it feels automatic.
What about the R sound? That's another really tricky one for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. The English R, like in read or run, the tongue has to curl back slightly and just float in the middle of your mouth. It can't touch the roof.
Like it's a little spoon held back.
That's a great way to think of it. You have to train your mouth not to tap the roof of your mouth.
And the L sound.
The L is the opposite. For words like light or love, the tip of your tongue has to touch right behind your upper front teeth. So for step 2, the method is just slow, deliberate repetition of these sounds, then short words, until that muscle memory is just perfect.
Okay, step 3. This is where we put those muscles to work with some speed. Tongue twisters and repetition.
The goal here is agility. It's a workout. Tongue twisters take those difficult sounds you just practiced and force your mouth to switch between them really, really fast.
So we go back to she sells seashells by the seashore. Maybe we add in red lorry, yellow lorry to really drill those R and L mechanics.
Exactly. And that initial discomfort you feel, that's the muscle training starting to work. The sources say that after just a few days of consistent repetition, your mouth will feel smoother, quicker.
Okay, so once we nail the individual sounds and the clusters, we move to step 4, practicing useful phrases.
Yes, this is where it gets practical. You move from a clinical exercise to something you can actually use. You need to train your mouth to say full, common sentences automatically.
So you can bypass that mental translation step.
Completely. Use real-life voices. How are you today? Can you help me, please? Or I would like a cup of coffee. The building blocks of daily chat.
And the method is the same. Slow, then fast.
Simple as that. Repeat the phrase slowly, focus on linking the words and getting the natural stress, and then gradually speed up until it just rolls off the tongue. You're building whole sentence muscle memory.
Now, step 5 is something that I think a lot of learners avoid, but it is so critical. Recording yourself.
Oh, it's the non-negotiable step. This is your external feedback loop. See, when you're speaking, your brain it's doing a million things at once, and it just masks the small errors.
But when you listen back...
When you listen back to your own voice, you're forced to notice them. That slight mumble, the wrong stress on a word, the sound that wasn't quite right.
It can be a bit painful to hear yourself the first time, can't it?
It really can, but getting over that is, well, it's part of the process. And the cycle is so powerful. Record yourself on your phone, listen back critically, find one specific thing to fix, and then practice that correction right away.
That feedback loop prepares us for the final and maybe the most powerful technique. Step 6, shadowing.
Shadowing is a true game changer. It's the closest you can get to hacking muscle memory for language.
So break down the technique. What is shadowing exactly?
You listen to a short piece of audio from a native speaker, a news clip, a line from a movie, anything, and you repeat it immediately. You're trying to match their speed and, crucially, their intonation and rhythm. You're almost speaking right on top of their voice.
So if they say, I am going to the market today, I'm repeating that instantly, trying to copy the exact rise and fall of their voice.
Yes, exactly. The power here is that it forces your mouth to sync up with your ear. It completely bypasses that internal translation because you just don't have time to think. It forces you to speak in whole chunks, and you absorb that native rhythm subconsciously.
That is a fantastic 6-step plan. But before we wrap it into a daily routine, I have a question. Doesn't this intense focus on physical pronunciation, doesn't it run the risk of making you sound a bit fake or over-enunciated?
That's a really important question. The sources do address this. They emphasize that you start slow for accuracy, but the whole point of the repetition and the shadowing is to build speed and linking.
Oh, I see.
So once the movement is automatic, you naturally relax into a more normal speed. If you only ever practice individual sounds, yes, you risk sounding stiff. But if you do the full phrases and shadowing, you're building in that natural connected flow.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's quickly cover the 3 big mistakes to avoid.
First, don't speak too fast before you're ready. Start slow. Rushing accuracy just builds bad physical habits.
Second one.
Don't just memorize without moving your mouth. If you're studying vocabulary but you're not saying the words out loud with intention, you're not doing the work. Mental practice is not physical training.
And the third mistake.
And third, just don't give up too soon. This is physical training. It's like getting in shape. Progress takes patience and consistency.
Okay, let's put it all together. A simple, manageable, daily training plan for anyone listening. We're talking 10 to 15 minutes a day, max.
That's all you need. Start with your warm-up, 2 to 3 minutes. Then 2 to 3 minutes on your most difficult sounds, maybe just the R and the TH.
Now what?
2 minutes on tongue twisters for agility, then 2 minutes repeating your useful real-world phrases, and then for the last 2 or 3 minutes, either record yourself or do a focused shadowing exercise.
10 to 15 minutes a day. That feels so achievable.
And that's the core message here. That consistency for just a few minutes every day is so much more effective than one long 2-hour practice session once a week. You're building a daily physical habit.
So in the end, what does this physical mastery actually mean for a learner in a high-stakes situation, like a job interview?
It means confidence, real deep confidence. When you trust that your mouth can actually execute the sounds quickly and clearly, that mental block, that hesitation, it just evaporates.
Which means better job interviews, clearer presentations, smoother social chats.
Exactly. Because you're no longer fighting your own body to get the message out.
And since shadowing is all about that ear-mouth connection, training your mouth also helps you understand other people better. It becomes a two-way street.
Every single little practice counts. It all adds up to better fluency in the real world.
So here's a focus challenge for you to apply all this right away. Starting today, I want you to pick 3 tongue twisters and 5 useful phrases. Practice them every day for 1 week, following these steps.
And a whole routine.
And on that last day, record yourself or try shadowing a 2-minute clip of a native speaker.
And don't just record it, listen back. But listen for the rhythm and the speed, not just the words. Notice that tangible improvement in your physical agility. That concrete feedback is what will keep you going.
Focus on that consistency and enjoy how ridiculous the tongue twisters feel at first. You're not just studying English anymore. You're physically exercising your way to fluency.
And here's a final thought to leave you with. Your tongue and your mouth, they are muscles of expression. The clearer and stronger that expression becomes, the more confident and really the more authentic you will feel in every single conversation. So start treating your mouth like an athlete treats their body. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.